Hello! Now in today's video I'm going to be over in the corner and I'm going to be messing about with some hot stuff. I'm Gang Gang. Welcome to the channel, Gang Gang and Peanut, two peas in a pod. Now today I am in Compost Corner, and I call it Compost Corner because I have my worm bin, I have my compost tumbler and I have my hot bin, and it's the hot bin I'm going to be emptying out today. The reason for that is I need some of this compost because I'm about to put my tomatoes into containers and at long last get them out into the garden. Now if you're not familiar with a hot bin, what they are basically is an insulated box that you fill with kitchen scraps, cardboard, etc. And it retains the heat that's produced during the composting process, and that enables it to compost much quicker. However, throughout the winter I don't really do much with it. I keep filling it and I keep agitating it, but it never really gets to a higher temperature. But the summer's approaching, and during the summer this hot bin really comes into its own. It really gets hot and it produces compost really fast. I'm about to empty it out and hopefully it's been doing its own thing. Fingers crossed there'll be some decent compost. Now if I lift the lid on this bin, you can see it's getting pretty full up, and there's a fair mixture of greens and browns that are composting away in there. However, I don't access the compost itself from the top. We have to access it from the bottom. So to get the compost out, there are a couple of straps that I've removed, and then I'll remove this front lid, and hopefully we will find some nice compost inside. There we are. That is not too bad. You can see the worms are busy away in there doing their job. So all I need to do now is to scoop this out, and hopefully I can get it out without it all collapsing, which invariably it does. Let me do that. Now there's quite a bit of compost here, and I'm laying it out onto a sheet because it's much easier than trying to pop it into some buckets. There. Now I don't know if you can see, but there are plenty of worms in here. They've obviously been doing their thing and helping to make this into some really lovely rich compost. I'm quite pleased with that. Let me remove it all and then I'll show you what I do with it next. So now I've got the amount of compost that I need, I'm going to spread it out onto this sheet and I'm going to let it dry out just a little bit. That's because I'm going to sift it after. It needs to be just a little bit drier in order for me to sift it properly. So 20 minutes in the sun and the breeze, hopefully these worms will get themselves under this because I don't want to cook them. And then I'll sift it, and that should give me some lovely compost. Excellent. Okay, so the compost has dried out a bit, and now I'm going to pass it through this riddle. And let's see what comes out the other side. Let's put that scoop in. I'll give it a shake about. I'll put another one in. You can see there's all sorts in there. There's some leaves. There's a peanut there. There we are. And any bits that are too big to go through this, they'll simply go back into the hot bin. And as you can see, this compost is absolutely beautiful. If you can see that. There we are, look at that. You can't buy that in the shops. It feels great. It's going to hold the moisture. It smells fantastic. And I'm going to add that to a compost mix for my tomatoes. Excellent. So now I've got that absolutely gorgeous compost, I'm going to mix it with some multi-purpose compost and one or two other things. I'm going to put it into some containers and I'm going to plant my tomatoes, which, as you can see, they're starting to take over the greenhouse, and I desperately need to get these out. If you want to see how I do that, you'll have to watch my next video. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up or leave a comment down below, or maybe consider clicking the subscribe button and come along and join us, see what we get up to. Remember that what I do is not necessarily the right way. It's just my way. That's what I'm sharing with you. Anyway, I'm Gang Gang. This is Gang Gang and Peanuts. 2 peas in a pod. And as ever, until next time, take care. Bye.